Harvey's Lake today talking about canoe and kayak safety. Last week we talked about legal requirements. We're going to talk about recommended equipment now with Alan Shuffler from the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission. And Alan, let's go right into it. What do you recommend when you're kayaking or canoeing?
All right, to get right into it, what I'm wearing right here, sunglasses. You're out, typically boating season, it's hot, it's sunny, you need something to protect your eyes. And along with that is a hat as well. The hat will keep the sun off your face, preferably off the back of your neck. Sunscreen will go a long way for you. In the sun, you get sunburnt on the water. It makes it even worse as the sun's reflecting back up onto you. Cause some really nasty sunburns, and you want to avoid that at all costs. Along with that, you need appropriate water sneakers or water shoes. Those can be old sneakers. They make water sneakers just for canoeing and kayaking. The main thing on them is having a closed toe so that you're not stubbing your toe into rocks, cutting your feet, as it does happen quite a bit. Along with that, your appropriate clothing. It can be very windy out, it can get cold during the day. A light windbreaker will help keep the sun off of you, protect you a little bit from the sun and the wind. With that, whenever you're packing that stuff up, grabbing a dry bag to keep your jacket dry so it's not soaking wet in case you do tip your canoe or kayak or it does rain on you, keep your stuff dry. If you do get water in your boat, having a bailer, which is just a pump to pump the water out of your canoe or kayak so you don't have to get your boat onto the ground somewhere, tip it over, take all your stuff out of bailer, is just going to let you pump all the water right out so you're not sitting in water all day. It is a get wet sport. You should expect to get some water in the boat, so don't put anything in the bottom of the boat you don't want wet, and be ready to pump some water out from it. Also, we recommend a throw rope. So that would be if you're going out with other people. We've used them to tie to other boats. Somebody gets tired, somebody tips their boat and they can't swim it into shore by themselves. You toss them a rope, you can pull them into shore, you can pull their boat in. Really big help. We recommend you don't go out without that throw rope. You'd be surprised at many uses of rope whenever you're out on the water, even if it's just for an hour. Make sure you take a pocket knife, a multi-tool with you. This comes in handy a million different ways, and you don't want to go out on the water without one.
If you get thirsty, you have to bring water, some kind of beverage, right?
Yes, you do. Bringing a water bottle, bringing multiple water bottles on the day, whether you're just out for an hour, out for a whole day, you need to plan appropriately. So if you're going out for an hour, one bottle of water might do you for that short trip, but if you're out the entire day, bring in multiple water bottles with you. Keep yourself hydrated on the hot days. You're going to dehydrate quickly, and that's going to make for a long day on the water. Absolutely. If you don't have water.
And know the waterways you're kayaking or canoeing, and
yes.
You have a map, you have some apps on your phone. I mean,
you can get on our website. We have maps. You can get our app. It will send you to a good place to take your boat into the water. With that map, you can plan your trip. You want to know the water before you go out. You want to make sure that you tell somebody where you're going.
Absolutely.
And what time you're going to be back. It's typically better to write it down. We call it a float plan. You write down where you're putting your boat in at, where you're going to take out at, how long do you think it's going to take, and you need to give it to somebody that's going to know you're gone.
Yep.
and missing and you're not back. That way, if you would get lost or your boat capsizes and you can't get back in it, well, whenever people come looking for you, they're going to know, well, you're in this part of the river and be able to find you fairly quickly.
And you mentioned the hat. Now, some people want to go in their kayaks and fish, and you have to have your license.
Yes, kayak angling is getting really big. A lot of tournaments. I do recommend it. It's a lot of fun, but you do have to have your license, and it needs to be displayed. It needs to be out where our officers can see it, so they're not coming up to you and bothering you on your day out on the water.
Thanks, Alan.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that's going to wrap up this week's show from Lackawanna State Park. We want to thank our sponsors, Sickler's Bike and Sports Shop in Kingston and Clark Summit, and Weaver's Archery in Middleburg. We'll see you next week in the great outdoors.
has been another locally produced show by Fox 56, CW38, MyTV, and MeTV, the leading producer of local programming.